We don't need to wait for the new year to change our life. All we need is to be consistent with the simple habits and apply the important lessons in life that can make a big impact for this year 2026. So just give me 20 minutes of your time and I will help you change your life like it changed mine. These habits and lessons are very simple and realistic that all you need is to start deciding for a positive change. And we cannot just look on our vision board and do nothing, but we need to decide to take action. Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. It's Jin here and welcome to my very first video for 2026. Today, I'm so excited to share to you about goals for this year, habits, some reflections. It's very trendy, but goals is just not a trend for the new year. It is some sort of our direction and how we align ourselves to achieve that success of what we want to do for this year. So I'm so excited to share some tips and tricks and some very important lessons and reflections that I have learned from last year, and what are those very important and helpful habits for us to keep doing for this year. So stay tuned, and if you are not subscribed yet, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button for more videos about positive lifestyle and personal growth. So we can set goals anytime. We don't need to set goals just for New Year, but it is a perfect time to set goals because it's the start of the year and we are motivated and everything. I know that our motivations comes in and out, but it is setting goals for New Year give us that direction on how we want to look at ourselves at the end of the year. So I've learned from last year that setting a lot of goals or unrealistic goals doesn't really work. So last year I set a lot of goals for myself and I feel burned out, honestly. So for this year, I only set 4 main goals, realistic goals, simple and realistic. I don't really want to feel burnout again for this year. So that's what I really learned from last year. And I really learned that it's not just goals that we need to set for the year. We also need to set proper systems. Like, what is a system? System is like a tracker or your simple daily habits that you do to achieve those goals, because those little habits that we do daily are the key for our success. So as what they say, our success lies on our daily simple habits. So this year I also set a theme. So this is also trendy, but it's not just a trend, it also serves as a guide of what we want for this year and what do we really want for our year to look like. It is very helpful and motivated as well if we set that specific word or that magical word for ourselves for this year. So my one for this year is momentum. So it's very simple, but it's powerful. So my theme last year was, I actually have 3 words last year. It was focus, self-awareness, or focus, awareness, and peace. So I achieved peace last year, but I was procrastinating a lot last year, maybe because of burnout. For this year, I had a hard time what word I'll be choosing for this year, but yes, this time I have finally decided that my word for this year 2026 is momentum. I love that word because it sounds so simple but so motivating. I really need that momentum. I need little steps. As what they say, psychologists said or studies said that we don't need for motivation, because if we just wait for motivation, momentum doesn't happen. So all we need is simple little steps, just little actions, even if it's really hard at times. So to build that momentum, we just have to do that little step, one step at a time. So now I would like to share some very important lessons that I've learned from last year that I really want to keep for this year. So these lessons are very helpful. So I hope that you will resonate with it and you can reflect on it as well. So first lesson I've learned from last year is to avoid too much stimulation, especially spending a lot of time in social media. So I realized that at some stage last year, I was doing a lot of scrolling. I know that it is not good. I was aware, but I still did it. I don't know, probably because I was burnt out and I was procrastinating. I also had a depression last year as well, and I'm so happy that this year I decided to get up and reinvent myself. I'm going to rise again. So spending too much time in social media, too much stimulation can lead you to feel sluggish, and it will also affect your mental health because, to be honest, it is psychologically proven that if you spend so much time in social media, too much stimulation can lead you to compare yourselves to others and can contribute of lack self-esteem. So I learned that managing my time in social media this year, I only set like at least maximum of 30 minutes or maybe 30 to 40 minutes a day scrolling, or maybe if I have an important stuff that I need to check on my social media. So for me, Instagram or Facebook, it's too much stimulation. There's a lot of things that you see there. So this year I really learned that I really need to be mindful of my social media time. I learned that I really need to be mindful of my time, of how much I spend time on social media. Next lesson I've learned is it is so important to be grateful. Just look on that silver lining. So no matter what your situation is, despite of all the challenges or struggles that you face, there's always a reason behind it. And that reason is always a magical reason. So despite of you probably don't see what the positive reason or what's that reason behind of all the struggles that you face, but keep that faith, keep that hope. And yes, just be grateful of what you have in the present moment. So that's all. Just be grateful of your life. Be grateful that you are breathing. So those simple things, you have to be grateful for those little things and just practice gratitude. That will give you simple joy. The joy of little things is priceless. Okay, the next one is self-awareness, self-love, and self-compassion. So self-awareness is very important as well. So there are a lot of things that we need to be mindful, we need to be aware of. So we need to be aware of our attention, we need to be aware of our energy, we need to be aware of our surroundings, our environment, our decisions. So there's a lot of things that we need to be aware of. And yes, I learned that it is important for us to have self-awareness. So self-love, yes, it is very important for us to have that self-love, because without that, we cannot love others if we don't love ourselves first. Of course, we love God above all. Secondly is ourselves. So self-love, if you love yourself, you have to pray, you have to trust the universe, and you have to trust God. So you have to exercise well, and you need to track your daily healthy habits like eating healthy, working out. It is so important to keep those healthy habits if you want to live longer, be healthy physically and mentally. So talking about self-care, it is very important for us to drink at least 6 to 8 glasses a day, hydrate ourselves enough for the day. We also need to have at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep daily. For me personally, I really set that goal to have at least minimum of 7 hours sleep daily. If we don't have enough sleep, it'll affect our total nervous system and we won't be able to function well. So self-compassionate is so important as well, as we are not perfect. We do fail from time to time, and we do feel discouraged, we do feel unmotivated, we do feel sadness, so on and so forth. But we have to be self-compassionate to ourselves. Like, we don't need to keep rushing. We cannot really put too much pressure on ourselves. And if we do struggle for that specific situation, it is also important to listen to that emotion, to that pain. It is important to let yourself feel the pain and to just let it flow naturally, because that is also vital for us to achieve healing. So let's go back to exercise. So for me, that is one of the best habits that I cannot really stress enough for you guys. So exercise is one of the best natural therapy for us being human. Exercising is just not for physical advantage, but also for our mental health. It is so good for our mental health. Exercises has a lot of benefits. So exercise can help our skin glows naturally. Of course, we also need to mix that with enough hydration or enough water. Exercise can lessen depression and anxieties. Exercise can avoid illness. Exercise can make us stronger physically and mentally. Those beautiful benefits of exercise are all psychologically and scientifically proven. It is important to mix your exercise as well. This year, I kind of like all my habit tracker are just all in my Google Keep. So for example, I also track my exercise or working out habits daily. So I set for myself that I really want to achieve at least minimum of 150 minutes of exercise or workout per week. So yes, I also set a goal that it's very important as well to have a little bit of strength training, not just so for this year, I kind of enjoy doing some new workouts and just have that little workout challenge. For example, I set 5-minute intense lower belly workout for 7 days, or 5 days doing an intense booty workout. And of course, I also want to have at least a strength training or full body strength exercise for at least 3 to 4 times a week. And also I'd love to mix my exercise goal weekly to at least go for a walk with my dog and enjoy the fresh air outside and also enjoy the nature. So next habit is setting boundaries. So I can't stress this enough. I know that from my previous videos, I always mention about setting boundaries. So setting boundaries is so important. That's also a kind of self-love as well, because you have to set boundaries. We cannot do everything at one time. So there are so many factors that we can share about setting boundaries, saying no if you don't really feel like it, saying yes if you do, but don't force yourself to say yes if that doesn't align with your personality, if that doesn't align with your belief. It is so important for us not just to really focus on our goals or the results that we desire. So it is also important that we enjoy the process of, no matter how big or small that goal that we set for ourselves, it is so important that we enjoy those little process that we do and how to achieve that goal. So for example, I am currently studying online. I am studying to get a diploma of psychology, mental health, and counseling. So yes, sometimes I admit that I really do want to get the end results, get that diploma. And sometimes I tend to forget on how important to just enjoy the process of enjoying the topics that I've read every time I study. So yes, that's what I learned. So whatever goal you set for yourselves, don't just focus on the end result. Also focus and just enjoy those little moments or those little steps that you do on how to achieve that goal. Next important lesson is be aware of your finances. So yes, this one I definitely recommend. And be aware of your finances. That is so important, guys. For me, I can tap myself on how I did well with my savings last year. So I am proud of that, and I am blessed that God gave me the career or the job that I enjoy doing, which helps my finances, pays me well. So, but being aware of your finances, that also means it's important to have a pocket money, or it's important to have an emergency fund. It's important for us to at least invest, or it's important for us to at least put money on our savings account. If we don't have emergency fund, or if we don't have savings, so when the rainy day comes, if there is an emergency situation that we need to use money, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a struggle. So yes, how to manage finances. So I'm just not gonna talk a lot about it today, but I'm just gonna give you a little tip that I've learned for myself. So personally myself, I do track my expenses and my savings daily, or my expenses, I do track it daily, so I know where my money goes, or how am I doing with my spending. Am I mindful of the things that I am buying? Are the things that I'm buying is important, or it's just me being impulsive? So yes, that's why I do have a savings tracker. So it's just a Google Keep that I use, guys, and that is just the only system for me that really works for me. Other people does have whatever tracker that you use for financial management, that is fine, as long as you are comfortable using it and it works for you. And I also manage budget fortnightly. Every time I get paid, I spend for at least 30 minutes to an hour just to manage my budget fortnightly. I'd like to organize my budget. So what is the budget for my grocery? What is the budget for my little shopping? What is the budget, or how much I budget for some emergency or extra money that I need to budget, or what is the budget for food, so on and so forth. So it is so important to organize your finances, to organize your money, and to track your expenses daily. And most importantly, it is so important to at least put at least 10 to 20% of your salary or your income towards your savings account. So next lesson I've learned is it is very important to be mindful of your environment, to whoever you spend your time with, because you become what you influence with. So for example, if you have a very messy house, or a very cluttered house or office space, you won't be able to function, and your mind is also cluttered. So it's very important to be aware of your surroundings. Another example is, it is very important for you, or for us, to be aware of what content we are focusing, or what videos we are watching in social media. So is this content will give us or any good, or it's just going to give us too much stimulation, and then it will lead to self-comparison, and it will lessen our self-esteem. It is also very important for us to be aware of our attention, because what we focus, so yes, I just mentioned it, that what we do or what we watch, so attention are the things that we focus on. So it's very important for us to be mindful of what are the things that we put our attention to, as that will lead us, either we're gonna have a positive energy, or it will lead us, or it will just contribute for us to have that negative energy. As what they said, we are a product of our environment. Another lesson I've learned is, it is okay to reassess and realign our goals. It is okay to fall off. Sometimes we are not motivated anymore, and these goals are not aligned to what we want. So we don't know. Sometimes we cannot predict of what will happen. Sometimes we need to reassess and realign because our priorities change. It is so important that we have that flexibility to reassess and realign our goals based on our priorities, or based on the changes that we experience in our day-to-day life. All right, that is it, my love, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you get some motivations and inspirations on this video, and if you have more tips and tricks on how to achieve our goals for this year 2026, give us a tip, guys, and I really love to hear from you. So those tips and lessons that I've shared today are the ones that I experienced myself personally, and that works for me as well, the tips that I've shared. So I'd like to hear yours. Thank you so much for watching, my loves, and I hope to see you in my next one.
Bye!